Hey taxpayers, Tiffany Gonzalez CPA here with a really hot topic, the debt ceiling. This video is going to describe why the debt ceiling started, why it's such an issue, and what the government has recently done with the debt ceiling. So tune in, you won't want to miss this video. Now, we've reached the debt ceiling several times, and several times the government has decided to raise it. In fact, January 2023, we hit our last debt ceiling at $31.4 trillion of debt. Any change to the debt ceiling requires a majority vote in the House and 60 votes in the Senate, so it's no easy feat. In June, lawmakers decided to suspend the debt ceiling until January 2025. So what does suspending the debt limit even mean? It basically means that Congress can supersede the debt limit. In other words, they can incur more debt. And there's no new set limit for the debt ceiling. In other words, the debt ceiling no longer exists until January 2025. While the move to suspend the debt ceiling has been rare over the last 90 years, it actually has happened 8 times. So we have frequently been suspending our debt limit. The US government has had a serious problem with getting its spending under control, each time suspending the debt limit and allowing someone else to solve the problem. And yet, no one has solved the problem. In fact, the US has overspent approximately $1 trillion every single year since 2001. And what do we mean by overspending? Basically, the government collects revenue, which are taxes that you and I pay, and then it spends that money. And it is spending more than it's collecting in taxes. And it's able to do that by taking debt from other countries. So now fast forward to June 2023. I just told you earlier in the video that as of January, our debt was at 31.4. As of June 2023, it is 32 trillion. Now, when the government chose to suspend the debt ceiling, they also had to come together and figure out where were they going to cut? How were they going to stop the bleeding? And here is what they decided. The first thing they decided to do was cut the IRS's budget. Remember that huge budget that they gave a few months back to the IRS, over 80 something billion? Well, they're cutting 10 billion of it. And then they're cutting another 10 billion of it in a few years. The second area where they're cutting is COVID-19 relief funds. Apparently, there's still $30 billion that weren't used for relief funds, and so they're removing that from the budget. And one of the last key areas where they're making a cut is, you guessed it, student loans. Everyone needs to start paying back their federal student loans, and this will allow the government to have more money and more revenue. In fact, this latest legislation enacted that basically the government cannot extend again the amount of time you have to pay back. In other words, everyone must start paying back very soon. Once upon a time, the debt ceiling was created to make the government run more smoothly, to help keep it accountable. But at this point, lawmakers are starting to feel like it's more of a burden than anything. And truthfully, the debt ceiling isn't what the burden is, it's the government's spending. So what are your thoughts on the suspended debt ceiling? We hope you enjoyed this enlightening video. To stay up to date with all the information we're putting out, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Accounting to Scale. Until the next video, your favorite CPA, Tiffany Gonzalez.